Nothing's wrong with him in the sense that he can't catch COVID, or nothing's wrong with him in the sense that he's psychologically sound and 219 COVID.
Well, physically he can't. Almost, I don't think it may now be impossible for him to catch COVID.
He is COVID. He's
Yes,
ingested so much COVID, he has turned into COVID-19.
they said that like he's shown no traces of ever even having it. He never even had it.
Well, yeah, I guess if you're that
Just
vaccinated,
219, 237 shots.
yeah, it's like borderline an X-Men now or something like
Man, you got people over here crying about one shot.
that. This guy's
It'll
had
kill
one.
you. Your heart will blow up when you take one. He's like 219 in.
Yep,
I'm good.
I've had one every other day for the last 2 years.
Exactly.
All right.
62 years old, 62-year-old man.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll teach you. That'll learn. Somebody will learn. Oh man, Harlan, I
What's
think we're
up?
streaming. We are.
Oh yeah, we are.
We're streaming.
Oh
We're
man,
recording.
we're gonna get this out the way off top. You guys know who we are. It's Harlan, and that is Derek.
Yeah. Hey, this is
And I'm
currently
gonna
TDs
say,
and Tangies, and I'm wondering if today's will be like TDs and the first ever episode of TDs and Muab Deeb. We might just
oh no, you're all stoked for you.
we might just talk Dune for the next hour.
Oh man, I was gonna say I was looking at something that you sent me, and it says Justin Fields might be traded by next recording. Well, we're at the next recording, and he's still in there.
It's true, but you know what today is? Today's his
What is it?
birthday. They're not gonna trade him on his birthday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the NFL is rough. They're
It's
rough.
true. I will say this: it's so strange because we had the combine, right? And there was all sorts of chatter. But the Bears' social media is usually very like 2 years ago they got like a new social media manager, and they've been very they're not been as cool as like the Chargers. The Chargers do cool things with
Yeah.
but they've been more visible and they do better posts. They do all sorts of different stuff, and usually everything they post that's like, here comes the Bears, it has Justin Fields in it, right? Here's a picture of Justin Fields like lifting a baby to the sun, it's things like that, right? It's always Justin Fields. Player has a birthday, it's like happy birthday to whatever, and when it's Justin Fields, they call him like just him Fields, and like they do all this kind of dumb shit, right?
Uh-huh.
Today was his birthday. Happy birthday at Justin Fields, and like a picture of him, and that was it. Right, so it wasn't even like happy birthday to our quarterback, because that's what they always like hype the hell out of that guy, like everything. Our quarterback, QB1, JF1, all these various things that they call him, and they did not do that. They just said happy birthday.
Listen, they're keeping it cordial.
Yes,
They're
they are.
keeping it cordial. I saw something on Saturday that said, I forgot who said it. My report says that I wouldn't be surprised if Justin Fields is traded to Atlanta right now.
Yes.
They are working on a deal right now. That was Saturday. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm interested in seeing what this is.
So much insanity. There's a thing that was all over Twitter today that somebody was on. What are the like the little Twitter groups, that Spaces or whatever it's called? It's like, listen, and I won't do all the words he used, but he uses the same barber as Justin Fields. and let me tell you, behind the scenes, they're all just working together. So don't be surprised when he's the quarterback one. And then so everybody's like, is this the truth? And then somebody posted some screenshots of text messages to Justin Fields, and Justin Fields saying, I don't even use a barber. But I mean, anybody can make a contact to call him Justin Fields, right? So it is pure insanity. No one knows anything. Everything is a guess.
Yep.
And I'm surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised that he wasn't traded yet. Well, do I think he'll be traded? He's going to be traded. There's almost no.
Yeah, I'm still thinking. Now I'm leaning more towards the fact that I think he will be traded. Still don't think he should be, but I'm leaning towards the fact that I think they're going to trade him.
Yes.
Even though I am starting to dislike Caleb Williams like so much.
Why?
Every time I hear him talk, I'm like,
Yeah.
just like, yeah, you're gonna be the number one. We get it. You got no say in where you go. Like, I understand. Yes, you don't have to perform. Like, you've seen what I did. You know what I'm like. You don't have. There's other ways you can say that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not performing. Like, that's fine. I'm not going here. I'm not even taking questions. But I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's his attitude, the way he goes about it, the way things he says. And like I said, even if none of the things he said was true, even though I find it difficult that all of these things come out and he said none of them. So somebody's just writing words for him.
Yeah.
I don't find like it's been said a lot.
Yeah.
Like when it came out that it's rumored that Caleb Williams wants a part of whatever team drafts him. I didn't say that. Well, where'd they get that information from?
I don't even think stuff like that's even information anymore. I think there's such a need for people to accumulate followers so you can generate revenue that you say anything, and some of those things like fall within somebody else's, like, this is what I want to hear sort of thing, right? So I just think that I can't tell. I have nothing against him. I think he speaks well, which is like the worst thing you can say about anybody, right? Like,
Yes.
and I don't want to be like, oh, he's so what's the eloquent? I don't want to. I don't want. I don't want to.
Yes, articulate.
Articulate. Yeah, I don't want to be like. I don't want to say that. But like, yeah, he presents himself in a manner that like he feels more mature than he is when he presents himself to the media and stuff like that. Right? Cool.
Mhm.
Do I think he has like a level of try hard to him? A little bit. Like, he kind of reminds me of that kid in high school that comes in with suspenders and juggles and like tries to get everybody to.
Oh no,
You
not
know
him.
who I'm talking about? Like,
I know that guy.
everybody's got that guy in high school. It's like, oh, I got card tricks. Oh, great.
Yeah, he can solve the Rubik's cube really fast. Like,
Yes.
that
Like,
guy,
that's a
he's
really
got this
cool
one
skill when
weird.
you're an adult to show off, but when you're trying to be a cool teenager, it's like, oh, come on, man. You don't need to be
Yes,
that. Everybody's
he
laughing at him.
yo-yos. He
Yeah.
yo-yos. He's the kind of yo-yo guy. He
Yeah,
goes-
yo-yos, suspenders, juggling, card tricks,
Yes.
Rubik's
Yep.
cubes. Yes, that guy. And 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 it might
I don't
be.
want that guy. I don't want that guy as my quarterback. I don't
No.
see that. That's the worst thing. That's the worst thing you can say about him. Nope, I don't want him.
But the guy can. But so imagine being that guy, but they can also throw the ball 80 yards on a dime, right? Just on to hit a dot from that far. Like, it's just. Would you rather have that, or would you rather have Aaron Rodgers' personality?
I don't know. I'd rather take the yo-yo guy all day long.
Exactly,
Like,
right? So I'm willing to take try hard weird kid, right?
I ride a unicycle to school.
That guy. It's that guy. It's like, yeah, I
All these guys I've known. All these guys.
I know, same. I went to high school with all these people, or college, right? I've
Yes.
known them all,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it is that guy. Like, he feels to me like that guy. It might not totally be that guy at all, but it just
Oh.
kind of feels like that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
But if that was what I got from him, I wouldn't be that. I get that he thinks that his shit don't stink. Like, that's what I get from him. Like,
I'll take that though. I don't mind cocky especially at a position where you have to be cocky to be good.
you don't. I don't think you have to be cocky to be good at quarterback. I think you have to be a leader, right?
Yeah.
And real people who are good can weed out all the BS, the words that you're saying, and see if you're a true leader.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
and that's what I think. It comes across as not even just like, I don't know, braggadocious, but not braggadocious, because he has to be good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think we've all had those group of people where that guy talks a lot, and you just go, he hasn't earned enough to talk that much. Yeah, you might be good, but you're not that good.
Yeah.
You're not that good. And even when he was playing, I was like, okay, I guess he's okay. I'm not a huge Caleb Williams guy. Just even when he watched him play, I wasn't that huge fan. And I hope that he has a good career. I really do. I don't want anyone to have a bad career. The hype for him, he's not the best player I've seen in college in the last 3 years.
I think that's the problem. And I think that's the problem with all of these. It's the hype precedes them. And so
Yes.
it's it
Yes.
it it immediately spoils, like, even keel not going to jump on the train bandwagon individuals like yourself and like myself. Like it's like it immediately becomes off-putting, right? It's like, what have you done to get this hype? And like, I haven't seen it and I'm not around it. I think the same thing, and I don't want to compare him to LeBron at all, because LeBron is a true generational talent with it. But LeBron had that same problem, right? Like
Yeah.
he was anointed in high school, right? Like, that
I
happens
think
to these kids. I don't know.
I think that about LeBron is this. I think that's a part of his greatness, though. That when he came out, I remember saying probably to you, there is no way this guy can be as good as advertised.
Yeah.
Like even if he's good, even if he's a perennial all-star,
Yeah.
there is no way he can be as good as they think he is. And he is.
And he ended up being that, right?
And I think that's part of the mystique with him. And I don't think that this is Caleb that we're saying. I don't think I'm gonna be on this like there's no way. Like I don't think I don't think he's getting that hype that much.
Oh,
I don't think he's getting the Lawrence hype because I think that was out of control.
that was out of control. Yes.
I think the Lawrence hype was a little high. I don't think it's at that level. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen it from him. I'm more interested in the quarterback from LSU. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I like him.
Yeah. So I like Jaden Daniels too. And the only thing that I would see, there was a point where I was like, what if the Bears think that Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback and they trade down to get him, and they do all this stuff. And I was like, but Jaden Daniels is like a smaller, less arm talent version of Justin Fields, right? It's like, why would you downgrade the exact same thing you have, right?
Well, is Justin Fields' problem anything physical?
No,
It's not like he
there's
has the
nothing physically wrong
tools,
with him. Yeah.
the talent to be elite at this level,
Mm-hmm.
all the tools and the talent. His issue might just either be it's not coming to him as fast as it ever comes to everyone else. So if you can get someone like a JD Daniels, who has some of the skill set he has, talent isn't going to be what he falls back on. I think you just need to find someone who can get it,
Yeah.
who can get it, and who's capable of getting it.
And I think I think that's Caleb Williams. I think Caleb Williams is that guy that can get it, right? And
I,
he has all the arm talent and creativity on the field that you need from that position now.
he may have that, but can he face adversity of a tough market that if he has two bad games, they're writing bad about him? That's the part that I don't know.
That's any of them though, right?
But I think that no, I think some attitudes, some even kill, some people you get that when you face adversity, you you can you can sit there and go be the bigger person, be like, okay, no, I didn't have a good game. Like what happened with Ryan Leaf? Ryan Leaf had all the physical talent.
Yeah.
He once he started losing and they started writing bad about him, he got out of his whole game. His career was pretty much done yelling at reporters in the
his
locker
problem
room.
was all mental for sure, and I don't think now that's one of the things I love about Justin Fields is
Yes,
he is
his demeanor.
his demeanor. He's stoic, but he's just he seems like a good person, right? You're like, so he's got all the qualities and traits that you cheer for,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he's smart as hell. There's all these things like you think it would just translate to the NFL game and be like boom, and there's still a chance that it will. It just hasn't hit that yet.
It hasn't.
So I think we talked about this, if not last time, the time before. It's like now you're drafting against, you're projecting, is the person that we get is it going to click for them before we hit? Is it going to click for Justin Fields before we have to pay him, or is it better to get a fresh kid who it'll probably click at about the same time, right? Like it's
Hope.
like, but you
Like,
don't know. It's all a gamble. Everything's a gamble with that situation.
Him not showing up at the combine for interviews
Yeah.
or physical or like he's like, I'm not doing any drills. I'm not
Okay.
interviewing with anybody.
No, that's not true
I
because
am.
he interviewed.
Did he interview?
Yes.
Okay, so he did no
He
physical. He
just didn't
said
do the
no
physical
drill.
piece, and like he didn't do the drills.
He
Which,
said I won't be checked out by any doctors. It's like
but
if he interviewed, then that's fine because that's what I really want. That's
yeah,
really what the combine should be.
yeah,
The first chance that these coaches get to sit you down and have a conversation with you. It's your job interview.
yeah.
Right. That's what it is
And so
for the most part.
they had that, and so I don't care about the throwing at the combine. Or
I
the
seen you
running
throw.
at the combine. Like I would rather you not get hurt at the combine. There's somebody that blew out a ACL running a 40 this year too. Right?
Oh,
So it happened to an offensive lineman last year. Like you just don't need that kind of stuff, right?
yeah.
I get that. I also get if you're a consensus number 1 pick, you do not have to do the physicals and give that information to all 32 teams. You needed to
No.
give it to 2, maybe 3 teams at tops. And so you do that
But
privately.
what teams? You never know. Like, let's say I'm a team in the top 10 or slightly out of what you think is the top 3, and I actually want to move up to get you. You don't know that. You don't know who's moving up.
I think it's safe to say he knows there's probably 3 potential teams that are going to draft him. One being the Bears at about a 90% chance. I think the other one is a 9% chance as Washington, and then I think a 1% chance that it's somebody like Atlanta or the Giants.
What about the Patriots? They might
or
move
the
up.
Patriots. Yeah,
The Giants. The Steelers could try to do something to move up.
Yeah.
Like there's other teams I think that can make that move.
I don't know if teams have enough. The
And-
further
and
you
it-
get away from one, the bigger the price tag it becomes.
It is.
Right?
It is.
So-
But if you wow somebody, if you allow them, if first of all, if they ask to interview you, you should interview with them.
Mhm.
Hey, you should interview with them because you have no clue what their choices are.
Yeah.
You have that's my thing. I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably looking too far into this because for whatever reason, I don't know if I like them. Like
That's fine. You don't have to like him.
probably it.
That's one of those things like rubs you wrong, and that's what I was gonna say about LeBron. So that hype preceded him, and he's proven to be everything in that hype and then more. And there's still people that'll be like, nah. Nah. What did he score? 40,000 points? Nah. 28,000 of those weren't legit. Like, he didn't have to earn those, right?
He did 20 of those thousand before he was 20.
Yeah,
Come on, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count. It doesn't work
Jordan
that
wasn't
way.
even in the league then.
I did see a thing about a breakdown of his points. Of every 10,000 points, it was within the same amount of games, like a 10-game window, all 10,000 points. So let's just say I don't know.
It's
what
just
the
been
numbers
average.
Are. We'll just say the first 10,000 took 260 games. The second 10,000 took 260 games. The third 10,000 took it was legit within a plus or minus 5 games for all of them, which was
He's
insane.
been consistent. His average has been consistent his whole career.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then even his last 10,000, it was it only it took him 268 games, and you're just and it was the same amount of games it took him to get his first 10,000. So it was just something ridiculous like that. I was like, are you kidding me? The man's like 40. He's been playing professional basketball since he graduated
20
high
years.
school.
20 years.
It's insane.
It's ridiculous. And it's not like I remember when I was starting to watch basketball as a young youth.
Mm-hmm.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was broken.
Yes, he was.
right. Physically, he was an old man out there. Right.
And
That's
he
the
was, what,
Kareem that
34?
I saw. Yeah, he had to be like 36 or 37.
Yeah.
And he was broken.
Yeah.
He would still go out there, do his sky hook, get some points, play sometimes. He wasn't even, I don't think, a full-time starter. But he was still playing in the 80s.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
But I've never seen anyone at this age that looks like what he looks like. It's unfair.
And the thing about Kareem, you say that, and I remember it. Like, he's younger than either you or I, right? He's younger at that time than you or I are right now, right?
Mhm.
So
Yes.
but you remember he's always iced up on the sidelines. It's like
That giraffe kind of gaunt down
yeah, it's like
this.
real long and slow and lumbered, right? You're like,
Mhm.
man, Kareem, like against a normal human being, you would have crushed him at basketball. But you put him out there, and it's like,
Yes.
nah, man, you just don't have anymore. It's like everything looks
Especially,
slow. Right?
especially when he was playing for the Showtime Lakers.
Yes,
They were moving at a speed that he could only dream of going
yes,
at.
and he was
And
only like mid-30s. LeBron
exactly.
is still playing. And
And jumping, he has not lost an inch of on his vertical. He is still jumping and dunking on those alley oops and fast breaks. You're like, what's going on, sir?
yeah,
What's
he
going on?
still
And I'm
does. He
not gonna.
still does that run from behind block on breakaways and stuff. Like he still plays both ends of the floor. Like
I,
I get the argument if I get the Jordan argument, right? Like because MJ's my
I don't
greatest player, but
I don't get it.
you don't get
I
Jordan.
don't get
Yeah,
it.
that's fine.
I don't get I don't get the Jordan argument. I don't, because yes, his career is long. That right there. Sure, if you want to say that makes him the greatest because he's had a long career, but for the time that I seen Jordan,
Yes,
I have
agree.
seen nothing could compete with that.
Yeah,
For those years that I seen Jordan, and you pick the years that you seen LeBron, you pick them.
yeah,
He doesn't look as good as what Jordan looked like up in the. There was, I've never seen a league that no one could do anything. Not one person could do anything to stop him.
yeah,
Like, and you know I'm anti-Jordan. I hated him,
yes,
hated Jordan,
yes,
and the reason why I hated him so much is because there was nothing that anyone could
yes,
do on any given day. If he wanted to score 55 on you, he was going to score. And he wanted to score 55 on the Knicks constantly. And
hmm
he did.
He
he
enjoyed it.
did.
Yeah, I think he took special pride in beating the Knicks and the Pacers. I think
Yes.
those were his two teams that
Yes.
he loved beating most because they were the two teams that pushed him to the limit the two times, right? Like
Yeah.
those were like his only two real challenges, and he saw those two teams. You
He
know,
it
what 6 times a year or whatever it was. You know,
four
it's like
times he would play him four times in his regular season
yeah,
and then
four
have to
times.
see him in the playoffs.
Yeah,
And he hated I don't know. It just when he played us, you just knew he wasn't gonna have a bad game. And a bad if he had a okay game, he only scored 28 points on you.
yes, 28, 6 and 8. You're like okay,
Like, and that's why I can't get the LeBron argument. Like, okay, yeah, there's gonna be people who never really watched Jordan play, who are going to sit there and look at the numbers and see LeBron has 40,000 points, things like that,
mm-hmm.
right? But if you never sat down and watched LeBron Jordan crush your favorite team, and I think that has a lot to do with it. I think it has a lot to do with all of the fans out there in the world who were fans of another team. They weren't Bulls fans, and Jordan had to come to your stadium and demolish you, crush your heart in multiple ways,
Yes,
right? that has to do with it. Like, I don't think people who of this LeBron era know that feeling,
yeah,
right? Even if they're not fans of LeBron, there are people who got over on LeBron. He hasn't won a lot. Like, there's a generation, our generation, when Jordan was playing, there was no one who was getting any wins.
yeah.
You just gave it up. It hurt you to watch that greatness as a opposing fan of his.
So
And those LeBron guys don't get that.
yeah, they definitely don't. And I think one of the so being from Chicago, this Saturday Night Live super fans are like they're like the perpetual thorn in my side for me at least because
Uh-huh.
they are meant as a mockery. They're meant as a
Mm-hmm.
mockery, right? But they are true to Chicago fandoms. They're so ridiculous. And there's a moment in one of them where I think George Wendt is like minimum 8 Pete, right? It would have been an 8 Pete if he wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
have retired to play wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
retired and then played baseball for half a season, right? If that didn't happen, they would have they would have beat the Rockets those 2 years.
They would have beaten the Rockets. The only question that I have is about the team that would have done it. Like, I think Jordan benefited from that not being the same through that not being the same pieces
Yeah,
from
that's
the
true.
last three. It's like, so I wonder, would Horace Grant and them been able to ascend to the level of where Tony Kukoc was when he came on, when Rodman was there? Like that team that had Sean Williams, BJ Armstrong, Horace Grant, that group, I don't know if they would have been able to ascend to continue to keep on going on. I think it a lot had to do with the fact that he did retire
Mm-hmm.
and the team completely changed when he came back, and it was just a different team.
But
And I don't know
I
if those
still think
others.
that first year after Jordan retired, they were the number one seed in the East, weren't they? Or the number two seed in the East? The Bulls.
Yes.
They still had like 55 wins, right, or something like that.
Yes.
And that was with Scottie Pippen, right,
And Tony Kukoc.
and Tony Kukoc. And
Tony
then
Kukoc's rookie year.
the next year, I can't remember if Horace Grant left.
Horace Grant wasn't on that team.
Yeah,
He got
so he was
traded to the
his free agent went to
Orlando.
right?
Yep.
So, like, it would have been an eight-peat, and
When you say that, you're right, because the Knicks played them to 7 games without Jordan.
and because that was the series that Scottie Pippen refused to go out there for the last second shot. What's that?
Yep. Cried like a baby.
Yeah. And Kukoc
cried like a baby.
Scottie Pippen had a real tough time. So you talked about like the persona that can handle media. Scottie Pippen was not that dude. Scottie Pippen was kind of fragile. Still is a little bit fragile, right?
Yes.
He had a real rough time after Jordan left because he got pulled over. He had a gun in his car. He flicked off the fans at center court one time. He refused to go out for that last second shot where Kukoc made it. And it's tough. He needed Jordan there to be the focus of everything. So he didn't
let everyone hate him, and Jordan was happy with that. You just smoke a cigar in your face.
Smoke a cigar in your face and then put up 50, right? That's just what he did.
Yeah, it's just those LeBron guys, they didn't have to deal with that.
No, they didn't have to deal with that,
and it shows. And it shows.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing. The people that really hate on LeBron are the ones that won't even dignify him in like the greatest ever conversation. Like and the thing that's so funny about that, like I grew up in Chicago as a diehard Bulls fan. That was like the only sport I watched for a long time was NBA basketball. That and baseball.
Some baseball.
Yep. And that was it, right? But I mean it was the Bulls, man. It was the Bulls. And by extension, like I just consumed NBA like I consume NFL right now at the time. I was just so into it. I can still recognize that LeBron is one of the greatest players of all time. Like I could say, yeah, he's even if you want to start like arguing about like putting Magic in there, and I know you would too, but Magic or Wilt, and you could, there's no way you can say LeBron isn't in the top 5 greatest players of all time argument.
There's no way. There's no way. But that you said he's in the top 5.
Yeah.
Right. Like if Jordan is my number 1, my number 2 can't see him. Like he's so like and I like Kobe. I love Kobe and Kobe's style and everything like that. He's not Jordan.
He really wanted to be Jordan though.
Like it's like Mamba mentality. He has that, but I'm coming from an anti-Jordan thing. I hated that man.
I know.
Hated him. But I had to respect and he beat us so bad. And it wasn't me. Like you can ask anyone who was a fan of basketball at the time who wasn't a Bulls fan. Yep. He torched you. Yep. He crushed your heart. If you were a Utah Jazz fan, you hate him.
Oh God, yeah, you do.
You were a Portland Trailblazer fan, you hate him. If you were a Pistons fan, you don't hate him as much because you got him when he was young.
You got him. You got him before. Yeah,
you got him before.
But then you should hate yourself because you're the fire that forged the steel that is Michael Jordan.
If you're a Cavs fan, you obviously hate him, and that's if Cavs. Yeah. So, but like there was so many people. San Antonio Spurs don't like he was beating everyone. Your best player at that time, He was beating him. He was crushing them, and then he was going to the All-Star game and crushing them there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all
He didn't take time off. Uh, yeah. So if you think about all the teams, particularly in the East, it's the Knicks and the Pacers. I think are the two teams that and the Cavs that never got the opportunity to be great
no.
because of Jordan. And then the 2 years those well no the Pacers didn't go at all because of Orlando,
Pacers
right?
never. Mm-mm.
Orlando got that weird sniff in there with
Yeah,
the young Shaq, but like nobody. And then in the West, yeah, if you got the right to lose to Jordan is what it came
yeah.
down to. If you came
And
out of the West,
the thing about it was those losses to Jordan in the finals weren't even close.
yeah,
Like I think somebody won 2 games, and that's the most games
that's it.
that a team beat him in the finals. He was having a harder time, like you said, going through the Eastern Conference
Yeah.
than he was going to the Western.
Yeah.
Like he was, like, yeah. There's nothing you can say, oh, you LeBron fans. There's not a stat that you can pull out there that's going to make me forget what Jordan did to the league for 10 years. From 1990, I'll say to 2000, even though he didn't even play that long, but I will say from 90 to 2000, there's nothing you can say that was one of some of that decade. No,
Yeah.
no, yeah, he came back and still took Shaq Orlando to 7 games or 6 games in that that was a half a year. He had just finished playing baseball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was. Man, I still remember some of those Knicks and Pacers series. Man, they were insane. And then yeah, to go from the Eastern Conference Finals, then to the championship, and just be like, it's the Sonics, and you just run over them. It's like it's the Suns. Dan Marley.
Dan Marley and them. Yeah, it was yeah. That's it, and that's what all you LeBron fans. You'll never be able to realize that. And except he's gotten beaten by so many people. Something we never saw happen to Jordan.
But so I mean that's just a volume thing. He's gone to so many finals, though, right? Like,
I don't think it is a volume thing.
How many finals has LeBron gone to?
Like a lot.
A lot, right? He's gone to a lot, and with some very subpar teams. He's gone
in a very weak Eastern Conference.
Yes, but I don't care. Get to the finals to get into the finals, right? Like I don't care if it's a weak Eastern Conference. He has drug. He had to like clobber some of these people over the head, throw them into a burlap sack, and then drag them up a hill to get to the finals, right? It was LeBron and a sack of dudes, and that was it. And they got there, and they would lose, right? And like, and I don't care that they went to the super team with the Heat because they got lost. They lost their team.
They lost,
but
yep.
Unlike Jordan, when it was you got to the finals, now you have the privilege of losing to Jordan. There was never another team that's like, yeah, we can win this. I don't see how we can't. Like it didn't have the same level of just like
they didn't fear him.
No,
they did not fear him because or his teams, right? And no one ever feared the Bulls. I'm gonna say that, like, as a Knicks fan, we didn't fear the Bulls. It was Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
because we learned that he would elevate his team to victory, giving shots to Steve Kerr in the corner, Craig Hodges in the corner, Luke Longley right here for the dunk. Like it didn't make a difference. The ball got in his hands. You would want him to you would want him to pass the ball, but he always made the right pass. And that person always made the shot.
Always. It felt like it was always.
He elevated his team around him to a point where you didn't fear any of them, but you just knew that, well, if he doesn't make the shot, he's going to get the assist on it because they know. LeBron never made that. He never put that fear into anyone's heart.
Yeah.
No one.
And I'll say this too about LeBron. He comes across as a much nicer individual than Michael Jordan.
Yes, he does.
So, and he might not be. LeBron could be the biggest dick on the face of the earth. I don't know. I don't know him privately, but I know I don't know Michael Jordan privately, but I know Michael Jordan privately. He's not a nice
Yes.
individual.
No.
He's not friendly. He wants to destroy you at anything. Oh, I see you ate that piece of bacon pretty fast. I bet you I can eat one faster, right? Like, dude, it's breakfast. Let me enjoy my bacon. Like, no, there's no enjoying anything around Michael Jordan because he's going to do it better than you, and he's going to try to every time. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way. I don't even know how you could be a friend of his, right? Like, like Barkley and him are friends, or they were at one point. I don't know if they still are.
Yes.
I don't know how you could be a friend. Like, it's just constantly being one up by somebody. It's hard. I couldn't do it.
What what if he isn't great at everything? Like that's the thing we don't ever get to see. What if he really isn't great at everything? And he like his friends just like, oh, Jordan's about to bet us, and they constantly take his money and all these other
I
things,
know
right?
because he's not dumb like that. He's not stupid. He doesn't like to lose. So what he'll do is he'll lose a couple times, and then like, have you seen Mike? No, I haven't seen him in like 3 years. And he comes back. He's like, all right, let's play darts or whatever it is, right? Like, and he's like, bullseye, bullseye. Like the darts are all stacked up on one top of each other because each one is thrown perfectly into one the next one, right?
Well, then I guess Mike, we guess this is the game we stop playing.
Yeah,
Like
and
that's
that's why,
what
like,
that's what,
and then everybody's done. Like, okay, well, you took the fun out of it, Mike.
exactly. Yes, he definitely took the
It's
fun out of it.
everything, everything. I guarantee that's
He's
how it is.
he's a 900 bowler in bowling too.
Yep. That's it. He's the guy you go to visit your grandma. Oh, how's your friend Mike doing? It's like, well, I haven't seen him in a couple years, and it's like, oh, okay, why not? It's like, well, I beat him at Pokemon once, and now
And he caught them all. He caught them
he,
all.
yeah, it's impossible to catch them all. Not for Mike.
Not
He
for
did it. He
Mike.
spent the last 2 years doing that. Now I can't be around him.
Damn Mike. Oh. Yeah, yeah. Like LeBron just look like he doesn't have that in him. He doesn't
No,
have that in him.
I don't think so either. I think he's a competitor. I think he's a super competitor. I just don't think he's got like the competitor that if he loses may kill you afterwards.
He's definitely not the type that punches his own teammate. He's
No.
definitely not that. We know Mike is that
Yes,
guy.
Mike is that. My favorite Michael Jordan. It's very mean. He used to call Will Purdue Will Vanderbilt because he wasn't good enough to be named after a Big Ten team, and he went to Vanderbilt, right? So he called him Will Vanderbilt.
What was Will Purdue going to do?
Exactly, right? But like, you're a rookie. Oh, I can't call you Will Purdue. It's a Big Ten team. Too good.
Oh, that guy.
That guy. That's all you can say. Oh,
Yeah, I haven't seen that with my own eyes.
no.
I have not seen that. A villain of that, a villain that was so loved by everyone. 'Cause to everyone but the Chicago Bulls, he was a villain.
Yeah, he was. But he was the
This
most
is-
popular villain in all of the world, man.
Yeah, that's what I don't think those people get. Like all these people who are saying Jordan is the best,
Hmm.
absolutely despised him.
Hmm.
They absolutely hated him.
I'm trying.
I don't think. Yeah, they don't get that. There aren't fans of Jordan that's calling him the best. It's the guys that rooted for him to break an ankle every time he jumped. Hope he bit his tongue when had his tongue out wagging in your face.
Oh,
This is the
yeah.
people. This is it. These are those people who just go, no, LeBron, you can't say anything. That guy, no, Mr. Jordan, no, you don't get to talk bad about him.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I defend Jordan. I thought I'd never
I
do
know.
that.
I know it's crazy. It's crazy. I was trying to think of the football equivalent, and I was going to say Tom Brady, but I don't think Tom Brady's as beloved as Michael Jordan is
No,
or was.
but Tom did do that to. See, that's the thing. If Tom would have been undefeated, I think Tom would get that. If I had not seen a team that was capable of beating him, like that's the mystique about Jordan. He was unbeatable. Like when the championship lights came on,
Yeah.
he could not be beaten. There's not anyone who could say they won up to him except for maybe those Detroit Pistons.
But like you said, that was before he was
He was still hyped. He
Oh
was
yeah.
still Air Jordan.
Oh yeah.
He was
Oh
still
God.
Wheaties
Yeah. He was.
commercial, Wheaties box,
Yes.
Jordan shoes. He was still Air Jordan. He just wasn't the GOAT. He
Yeah.
wasn't that yet.
I wonder if there was social media back then, if he would have been hated like that, because he came out when he came out as a rookie, and then he became all those. He became Air Jordan. If people would have hated him then, because it would have been more prevalent and in your face, and not just like the guy that was on commercials.
I think, and this is what a lot of people have been saying about I think Mike winning the slam dunk competition definitely helped his popularity.
Oh yeah, yeah. Doing the
Like
free throw line dunk.
definitely doing the free throw line dunk. He won it 2 years. Won it with Dominic and then won it with Dominic. Those things do it. And I heard who was it? I heard Kevin Garnett say the league is wrong for not forcing LeBron to do the slam dunk competition. He said all the greats did it. He's like he's one of the first person who's basically now Zion's like, I don't have to do it. Now all these other great players like, I don't have to do it now, because before you think about Kobe was in the slam dunk competition, he won.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jordan, Dr. J, like the greats of their time, and then you can go on and on. Vince Carter was in it, like Tracy McGrady, the best players in the league at that time.
Yeah,
they do it.
Yep, at least a couple times,
Yeah. Yeah, and Kobe wasn't great at it. I don't think Kobe was great. He won it. I don't think he was great at it, but he definitely won that year. But yeah, I think that has. I think a lot. I think by winning that, it was been hard for him to be hated, because we love the slam dunk competition then, and this is just slam dunk champion. Like
that was back when the slam dunk competition was. I hate to say it was good, but we remember it as good because people were doing.
We hadn't seen them
that we hadn't seen. Right? I still, my favorite dunk of Jordan's in the competition is that one where he comes baseline and he goes up and he comes like sideways into the
Oh yeah.
About.
And
yeah, there's just something about it when he's in the air. He's like kicking his feet and moving his hands. It's like it feels like he's parallel to the ground, but he's not. But there's something about that dunk that is just so sick to look at.
I think it was a game called NBA. I think it was NBA Showdown. They had signature dunks for players, and that was his. They called it the kiss the rim.
Yeah.
If you came from the side, he would go and do that windmill. Yeah, it was a beautiful dunk.
That was a crazy dunk, and they used to have. So remember the Atari 7600 days, because he had Magic versus Bird, but then they had Jordan versus Bird, I think was a game.
Yep.
And they had a dunk contest and a 3-point contest.
Yes.
And the dunk contest had that dunk in it. You had to run up and you go on the sidelines and press the button, and if you hit it right, you do that. And it looked cool as hell on Atari 7800 too. It was always cool. It was called Kiss the Rim. I gotta look it up now, just so I can see it.
It was a great dunk.
That was a great dunk.
And LeBron could probably do it. He's probably not a creative dunker, but just get him in there. Just make him do it.
Yeah, it's too late now. Let's say is
it
old man? Well, yeah, you're right.
Is it too late? I heard when Carmelo Anthony was playing, and he was I think he was with the Lakers at that one time, and they were on a fast break, and LeBron goes to throw it off the backboard, and Carmelo gets it and just lays it up after it. He was like, I think LeBron thought I was going to jump up and catch that alley. He's like, I can't do that no more. He's like, I thank you for thinking I had that in me. I don't have that in me no more.
I appreciate it.
Not everybody is you, LeBron.
All right, I have it here. Let me see if I can share my.
To the people who haven't seen it, the young folks who think,
oh come on,
that he is good. He's the man, LeBron.
There's that. If I switch this tab now. Oh, I gotta extend the screen and stuff.
Oh, that's I got hair Jordan.
Hair Jordan, yeah. Let's do this. Oh, not that. Dang it. There we go. Something about it. There he goes. Oh, even in that grainy 720 or 480p, in 1980s broadcast television standards, there's something about it. There's just that spot. Where's he at? Oh God, it's so bad. It'll never be in HD. That's the bad part. Oh, it's you know what I'm talking about.
I get it.
You know that spot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
Oh, that Jordan guy. That guy.
That Jordan guy. Yeah, and I think Brady might have been the closest thing in football, but I don't think because I don't like Tom Brady, and it
I don't.
and I can't tell if I don't like him is because he was always good and he just always won, or I never thought he was. He was always. But I'll
He
acknowledge he's the
was
goat at quarterback. Like
temporarily.
yeah, for the time being,
He's going to be the shortest, probably the shortest lived
ever.
goat
Yeah.
of all time if Mahomes is still on his trajectory.
Yeah,
Like,
if Mahomes doesn't slip in the next 5 years, like I don't even think it'll take that long. Like it's close.
it won't take that long.
Close to goat, right?
Some fans have said he needs to win 7. I don't think he does.
No,
I don't think he does to be the better than him. I think he will probably have every record.
Yeah,
like because to win 4 more is tough.
Oh God, to win 3 is tough. To win 1 is tough.
But then, are we arguing for Tom's GOAT status? He's got 7.
Yeah, but he didn't win 7 individually, and I'm gonna argue that he wasn't
true.
Wasn't the
first 3 were not on him at
he
all.
wasn't the best in those games.
Teddy Bruschi said he was carried for the first 3. Tom was carried for the first 3. He said he didn't have to do much. The defense was that good.
Yeah, and the defense was that good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but when you count them, you're gonna have to count 3. You're gonna have to count those 3.
They're still there. Yeah, they're still there for sure. Yeah, I'm not going to take away Super Bowl wins. Right? I mean, that's just silly, right? But
so do you think even if Mahomes doesn't win another championship, but he still has an amazing career,
yes,
that he can overtake Tom Brady is the greatest?
Yes,
with only three championships to 7.
Okay, so this is the same thing as Tiger Woods versus Jack Nicklaus. Jack Nicklaus has all those wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tiger Woods doesn't have as many wins.
Major wins, yeah.
But Tiger Woods is the best golfer that's ever played the game.
But what that to me is a generational thing as well, because a lot of the people who love Tiger never watch Jack, right? They don't, their generations don't overlap, right?
For sure. Yeah.
The people who saw Tom are going to see Mahomes.
That's true. They played against one another. I don't know if Tiger ever played against Jack.
Exactly. So it's good. That's the part that's going to be like the people who look at it. They're going to see, yeah, no, I saw Tom when he was great, and I saw Pat when he was great. Mm-hmm. I maybe they'll make that connection, but it'll be 7-4. It'll be 7-3. Well, if he doesn't win, 7-3, and that's hard to beat.
But so I know you're a big fan of the eye test, and Mahomes checks every box possible. Every box possible.
This early in his career,
yes,
boxes that it took Tom 10 to start checking.
Yeah, and there's just things like he is so good and so consistently good. And a lot like Brady was, and it didn't matter who Brady had around. Brady was still, those Patriots teams, even with flimsy offensive personnel, were very, very good.
Yes.
And then as soon as Tom had, I mean, they should have gone 19-0. And they should have gone 19-0.
Should they probably should.
Right? And and that's as soon as they got a legitimate wide receiver. It got Randy Moss. And like, okay, we're gonna win 19. We're gonna win every game possible. Like they should have gone undefeated that season, and they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
So
I think another thing why we say Mahomes will probably do it. There were times in Brady's career where he was not the best quarterback in the league.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I don't know if there's been a year where Mahomes has played. He may not have won the MVP,
Yeah.
but that I would say he wasn't the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about Tom played when I still think the best quarterback I've ever seen play the position is Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
With my eyes, the best quarterback I've ever seen play the position is Peyton Manning. Just the way he ran an offense. If I was picking a team, that's where I'm going. He couldn't run for anything. Didn't care. He's like, you talk about half of athletic ability. He didn't have any. Right? But could he play the quarterback position? Yes. Then you also had Drew Brees at that time, who could have arguably been some years the best quarterback in the league. Right. So those times you've got him competing with that guy. You could throw Aaron Rodgers in there. I know you may not want to, but
no, it's fine. I understand. Aaron Rodgers is very good at football.
There are times where you could say that Brady wasn't the best quarterback in the league. Pat Mahomes only been in the league, 5-6 years?
Yeah.
It's hard to find 2 years out of that 5-6 years that he wasn't the best player. Maybe the year he played one game in the last game of the season.
His rookie year?
When he didn't start.
Yeah.
After that, he scored 50 touchdowns. 50!
Yeah.
touchdowns.
Hey, welcome to the league. Here's 50 touchdowns. And you know what's crazy? Prior to that season, nobody knew if he was going to be good. It's like, I guess we'll see. Okay, we found out. Like, it didn't take long.
Yes.
It did not take long.
And it doesn't. You was like, oh yeah, but he's got Tyreek Hill. He doesn't have Tyreek Hill. 2 championships.
Yeah, that doesn't matter either. Right?
Wide receivers, like it's going to be difficult to sit there and say who. It may be arguable. Somebody might say Lamar. Somebody might say Allen. Those people would be wrong, but they might say it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. Like we're watching his greatness, and his greatness is so much better than everyone else's. It's
so hard because I think Mahomes is undoubtedly the best quarterback on the planet, right?
Yep, undoubtedly.
But then when you say like Lamar, I think Lamar is undoubtedly like one of the 2 best football players on the planet, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think he's not in the same quarterback, but his game is different than Mahomes. But Mahomes' quarterback game makes him the best quarterback. But it's such a hard argument because like I want Lamar Jackson to be the best quarterback. I don't know what it is about Lamar Jackson. I just want him to be the best quarterback on the planet. But he's not going to be. As long as Mahomes exists.
As long as Mahomes there, who's going to be? I don't think anyone.
The same thing with Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is amazing, and I want him to be successful. Now we're here. Is Mahomes closer to being like Jordan than LeBron was ever to be like Jordan? In the sense that, listen, the last 5 seasons, is it 5 or 6 seasons? They've won 3 Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. They lost the Super Bowl, and they didn't get to Super Bowl. So the last 5 seasons, he's been in the league 6, rookie year, then 5 straight seasons of either going to Super Bowl and winning 3 times, going to Super Bowl and losing once to Tom Brady, or not going to Super Bowl at all, losing the AFC Championship to Joe Burrow on an overtime field goal. All right?
Mm-hmm.
You are basically playing runner-up to Patrick Mahomes right now.
Yeah. And right now, he is torching the AFC.
Yes.
And like the Eastern Conference was, there's some strong competition in that division.
Yeah.
And whatever he goes to the NFC, he's just going to just run through them like hot grease.
And it's stupid, right? Because you got guys like Lamar, like Josh Allen, like
Joe
even
Burrow,
like Joe
if you
Burrow.
Want to throw Burrow
I don't think Joe Burrow's ever getting back. And it's nothing against Joe Burrow. It's just a team sport.
Mm-hmm.
It is so rare that you get there and you lose your first time and you get back. Like Jalen Hurts, I don't think he's ever getting back. Not with the Eagles.
Why not?
Not with that Eagles team. Like, it's tough. So it's like, here's a whole a whole modern era of quarterbacks that may never get the opportunity because of Patrick Mahomes. After a whole era of quarterbacks that never got the opportunity because of Tom Brady.
But we're saying he's gonna have it almost 10, probably let's say quarterbacks nowadays 16 years, right?
Phew, that's a big career.
It is a big career, right? What is
16 years puts you at about 40, right? Because football's different. Like you come in the league, you might be 21, 22. At 21,
yeah.
the youngest.
Mm-hmm.
And then
but 16, let's say you're 22, 16 years makes you 38,
which is a
I think
big
that's
career.
very feasible.
That's a big,
right?
but it's a big career.
It is a big career,
particularly in football.
But we saw Rodgers, Breeze, Peyton Manning.
Those are such exceptions to rules.
Yeah, but they're great. The thing they have in common with Mahomes is they're great.
That's true.
And because they're great, they don't mind sticking around and playing a little longer.
Yeah. For sure. I think the only one of those that was like, oh, you should have quit a couple years ago was Breeze.
yeah.
He was. I don't want to say he was struggling, but he wasn't the same player.
He wasn't. Yeah. He wasn't. That last year was rough.
Yeah.
But let's say he plays for another 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Of those 10 years, do you think he's going to stop? Like, how many Super Bowl more appearances do you see him being in?
I don't know. Like right now, 10? Like, like it's hard. Like, I don't know. Like, are you going to bet against him? Until he isn't, he is. Like, I don't know who do you think you are? I am. Right? He is that. He should have that on a shirt because that's like if you think you can win a Super Bowl, guess what? I am. And that's it. It's Mahomes. Until he isn't that, he is that.
He is. And if that's the case, as much as I don't like some of those AFC, I would feel so bad for
I know.
I would feel so bad for Lamar and Allen, Herbert, Burrow. I'd feel horrible for them.
Every team in the AFC right now, NFC gets a pass because all you gotta do is get through the NFC somehow. And the NFC right now isn't particularly bad, but it's not particularly good. The AFC, every move you do has to be to beat
with
the
one
Chiefs.
Goal in mind. With one goal,
it has to be to beat the Chiefs. Like,
okay,
if you're in, so let's say you're in a division that isn't you're not in the AFC West, right? Priority 1, win division. Priority 2, beat Chiefs. It doesn't even matter if you face the Chiefs ever. It's like I have to beat the teams in my division, and then I have to beat the Chiefs. That's the only thing that matters. And once you have your own your own division figured out, every move has to be what is to counteract the Chiefs.
Is that going to ruin the Buffalo Bills?
Yes, the Buffalo Bills are already ruined, I think.
That he lives rent free in their heads. Yeah. He is. I
think they're done. I don't think that team, as it exists, will ever win. And as much, and so before the Ravens, it was the Bills for me. I was like, my teams, I gotta pick them because the Bears are terrible. Like I really thought they were gonna do it 2 years ago. I was like, they're the best. I don't even know how the Bills are gonna lose a game this season. And
they don't have to lose but as long as they lose in the playoffs.
And I think 2 years ago was their best chance. The Bills and
that playoff game where they changed the rules on them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they had to change the rules because of that game.
Well, yeah, that would have been 3 years ago, right? So 2 years ago was the year after that, where they had to they made the moves, and it felt like, they're really
that was 2 years ago. That was the first Super Bowl without Hill, right?
Yes.
Because they won 2 back-to-back. They're going for 3-peat. So I think that was the year, because I don't think that was the year that they lost to Burrow and wait.
No, it was because it wasn't in the conference finals. It was in the divisional round. Yeah.
Is that the year that they lost to the Tampa Bay?
No, I think it's the year they lost to Burrow in the AFC Championship, because it was a divisional game. It was in Kansas City, and it was the Bills in Kansas City, and it went to overtime. Yeah, and then it didn't work out, and then so the greatest, it was It was one of the greatest football games I've ever watched live, like unfold. And I
Yeah.
think the year after that, when they had to like they made the moves in the offseason to become a better team, and it felt like, well, this is the year, right? They're looking, they licked their wounds, they're coming back stronger, and then they just fizzled out in the playoffs, and then it was just like womp womp. It's like great,
And then they get Mahomes in Buffalo
yeah. This would have been the
and
year.
lose and lose.
If you were the Bills,
This
this would have been the year to do it, and you couldn't.
they're only going to get better.
The
The
Chiefs,
Chiefs as a team was not a flawless team.
no, they were not. They weren't. They weren't.
They were far. They were far from. They're only going to get better.
Yeah, they'll retool. They're listen. They have an opportunity to lose both Chris Jones and L'Jarius Sneed this
They
offseason.
didn't they I thought I saw that
They didn't tag
they
either.
transition tag.
They did tag L'Jarius Sneed. I'm looking at it right now.
Mhm.
But
Was a transition tag, right? It wasn't the franchise. Was it the
no, it's
franchise or the
no.
transition?
There's only one transition tag this year, and it was from the Patriots for Kyle Duggar.
No.
So yeah, they did tag L'Jarius Sneed, but I think the intent is to trade him.
Mm.
They said they told him like, you guys can seek out a trade. We're gonna tag you, and if we have to pay you, we will, but don't expect a long term thing. So what's gonna happen is gonna be just like Tyreek Hill. They're gonna trade him off. They're gonna get some pieces, and they're just gonna retool. They're gonna just keep retooling, and they have a fantastic front office. They have probably the best
Good
coaching,
def-
best coaching
Good
staff in football.
DC. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just like, and you got the best quarterback on the face of the earth. Losing Chris Jones is definitely going to hurt, but they had one of the best defenses in football last year. They'll figure out a way to make that work. They'll retool, and they're
Ugh.
probably going to lose Chris Jones just because they can't pay it. They can't pay everybody.
Well, they haven't paid anybody.
Well,
They've only paid
exactly.
one
You
man.
can't pay everybody if you don't pay anybody.
They paid one man.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, like I don't know why this goes paying and people being in NFL and these NFL teams. Did you see this? I saw something earlier today about, they do, the Players Association does a stats on like best teams. They asked the
Yes.
team.
Yeah.
Did you see the Cincinnati Bengals got 3 Fs?
Yes, I did see something like that.
Jesus.
Let me-
Like for stuff like they do not offer childcare on game days.
Yes.
they only offer three meals a day to the players on Wednesday.
Yes.
Why Wednesday? I don't
And I think they
know.
had to pay for it too, which I thought was amazing. Like we have a cafeteria, but it's like they charge them like $1.99 or something.
It's
like that.
closed on a lot of
Yeah.
days. Like
Yeah, let me
I
pull
was
it up.
that's crazy. These teams make billions.
Billions with a B.
And these guys can't get 3 meals a day?
Yeah, or somebody to watch their kids.
Or somebody, just a place to drop your kids off. Right?
Yeah,
You don't want to, especially if you got a newborn and your wife wants to come and see the game. You can't. She's got to bring the kid to the booth,
yeah.
like or wherever. It just doesn't. I don't know why they would do such a thing like that. I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
that's not good.
No, and the Washington Commies, they ranked 32nd in the survey, but this is also taken before new ownership. But like a lot of,
I don't think new ownership helped, but because you're talking about those facilities are just bad over there in Washington.
So I just scrolling through. I have them on Twitter here. Let me see if I can do this in a way which you can't see who it is. And then, whoops, did you see who it was?
No, it's too small.
Okay. So this is a team. We don't know who it is. I won't tell you who it is. Treatment of families, F minus. Food cafeteria, B minus. Nutritionist dietitian, D. Locker room, F. Training room, D plus. Training staff, C. Weight room, C. Strength coaches, B plus. Team travel, D. Head coach, A. Ownership, F.
Head coach A, ownership F.
Yes. Everything about this franchise looks iffy except for the head coach, the strength coaches, and their food's okay. Everything else is average to worse, and ownership is an F.
All right. So first place I'm thinking is head coach A.
Yes. So this is a head coach that players will run through a wall for.
Head coach. Oh man, where can't be Pittsburgh.
It
I'm
is
assuming
100%
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
What?
Yes. It blew my mind when I was scrolling through. I'm like, really? Tomlin gets the A.
Tomlin gets the A.
Everything else is bad
below
or
average.
Worse.
When I was thinking from a family standpoint, there's no way that they could be an F.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. I don't know.
But I had to think of A coaches. Like that's why I was like, but
oh, here's one right before it, right below it.
Oh, no.
Who is the only head coach to score lower than a C in the NFLPA survey? Now, this is a survey of the players taken anonymously. The only head coach, and I'll give you a hint, he's no longer a head coach. To get below a C.
Below a C. I'm gonna guess Oakland. I'm gonna guess Josh McDaniels.
There he is. Josh Daniels, the only head coach to get below a C. He got a D.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say the dude in Carolina, but I was like, no.
Matt Rule got fired before. So this is
not Matt Rule. Oh. Matt Rule goes 2 years ago.
Oh, remember? So Frank Reich.
Frank Reich, yes, that was.
So yeah, so McDaniels, who got fired in the middle of the season, would have got fired the year before if they didn't owe him so much extra money.
Shouldn't have been hired.
Should never been hired. Yeah, so that blows my mind. The Steelers, but yeah, I'm going to see if I can find the Bengals on here because you're right. I saw that, and I saw how poorly they treated, and that was like the year before. It came out the Cardinals. Maybe it was the Cardinals that were charging people for food at their cafeteria. Yeah. And then I was surprised that the Cardinals didn't have like Larry Fitzgerald come out and like do like a thing like they may charge me for food, but it's always delicious or something like that, right? Because he's Mr. Cardinals.
He is.
All right, so here's the Bengals. Treatment of families F-. Food cafeteria F-. Nutritionist dietitian F-. Locker room D+. Training room B+. Training staff B+. Weight room B+. Strength coaches A-. Team travel C. Head coach A. Ownership C+.
How can you give the ownership a C+?
When everything else is so bad that
when their job,
yeah.
When the stuff that is their job is so bad.
Because
the facilities is their response. Like, yes. I don't think the general manager does that. I don't think.
Well, general manager is usually in charge of personnel, so there's somebody that's probably in charge of like operations, right? That's in charge of that. Here's some Bengals tidbits. Let's see if I can get them. Players are happy with the major training room renovations. 95% of players feel they have enough full-time trainers. Let me get to the bad stuff. Feels they have enough physical time. Feel they have enough hot tub space. They have enough cold tub space. One-on-one treatments, yes. Again, individualized plan, yes, great. Where's the? This is all coach stuff. I want the bad stuff. Oh, that was the positive. So it even says the positives. Yeah, because I'd seen that, but I guess here it is. Only 19% of players feel like they get an. No, wait. Unlike nearly every other team in the NFL, the Bengals do not employ a full-time dietitian. I don't know why you wouldn't. You have elite athletes. Why would you not? Like that's investment in your resources, right? The team dietitian received the lowest overall grade of any dietitian in the league. They got F-. As an improvement from last year, the team decided to offer dinner to players once a week on Wednesdays. They ranked 30th overall in food taste. Like, how do you not? You're $1 billion. How do you not have just the best available chef to cook?
But that's it. Yes.
They ranked 31st overall in food freshness. Like so, I'm
Oh.
almost picturing like a hospital cafeteria now. There's like a Jello brick out there with a grape in it. You got a hamburger wrapped up in foil. Like I don't. They only provide 3 meals a day on Wednesdays. One of two teams that do not provide 3 meals a day throughout the week. They do not open their cafeteria on the off day, even though players are coming in for extra work on that day.
Encouraged. I'm reading players report that they are encouraged to come in on their off days and prepare for the games. However, the cafeteria is not open.
The players want what most other teams have: 3 meals a day and the cafeteria to be open on operating players' days off. I don't know how hard that is to ask.
Shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be. It's insane. It's insane. Yeah, I did see that, and I was pleasantly surprised that the Bears were above
Did you see
average.
all the report cards? Because I'm on the NFLPA site and they have like all the report cards.
Yeah, I got the grid here in front of me. It's tough to look at the grid.
No, but you can click on the team.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
The Miami Dolphins got A's like across the board.
I guess playing in Miami
It helps.
will do that. Yeah.
Now on
The second
is the Vikings.
overall of all, no, the second of overall is the Miami Dolphins. They're ranked second.
Oh. No, I'm looking at it. It says it has them at first.
See?
The Vikings are second. The Packers are third. The Eagles are fourth. Let me see. The New York Giants coming at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eighth place. Treatment of families a C. Food a B. Nutritionist C plus. Locker room C plus. Training room B. A minus for training staff. B for weight room. B plus for strength coach. B plus for team travel. A minus for head coach. B plus for ownership. That's the Giants. The Bears are 2 down from that, and it's mostly C's, A's, and B's. C plus for treatment of families. That's the one that bugs me. The treatment of the families
Yes.
one. Like they should be A's across the board. Like why would you not treat the families decent? And and like the food and the diet, like those things should be A's for everybody. Should like they'd be like, man, we got the best food. There should be arguments on the field before the game over which team has the better food.
This one says for the Bengals back again. Players report there is nowhere safe and warm for mothers and children to go during the game, and that breastfeeding mothers have sat on the public restroom floor to nurse their babies.
That's insane. Why?
Insane.
It's insane. I just don't get how treating your families like that is good. It's just
my job does a better has a better place for that. Like we're not $1 billion company.
Yeah.
Right. And we have nursing rooms and at least snacks available as long as you're in the office.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna read you.
Can take some if you want to leave.
I'm gonna read you another team's line. Don't cheat.
Okay.
Treatment of families D plus. Food C minus. Nutritionist F. Locker room F. Training room D. Training staff F. Weight room C plus. Strength coaches C plus. Team travel D. Head coach A plus. Ownership F minus.
What? Ownership A plus? No.
Head coach A
Head
plus.
coach A plus.
Ownership F minus. And everything else on there is bad.
Denver Broncos.
No.
Okay. All right.
I'll give you this clue. They've won 3 out of the last 5 Super Bowls.
What? The Chiefs?
Yeah.
What is it? Did I get it? Kadarius Toney filled it out for everybody.
Yeah, it must be, but like I don't even know. But you think the coach would be lower because
the coach would be lower.
Everything else would be A's. That is Kansas City.
So it shows you got to treat these guys bad. You got to treat them like trash.
Maybe that's
the best thing.
That's what everybody's saying. The Commanders rank below that. They only have 1 A in the strength coaches. Their head coach got a C. And it's around Rivera, but he's
Ron.
gone. So
Jesus Christ.
yeah,
Like,
that's
all right, maybe are we these guys, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this.
uh-huh.
These guys also probably all come from Division 1 schools
Uh-huh.
that are probably the best,
Okay.
have and they've probably been coddled a little bit.
Oh, there. Okay, so there might be a level of coddling, and you're like, oh, I thought it'd be better at the pro level,
At the pro level.
but come on, like to be that like so let's say
Imagine you are an organization,
mm-hmm,
right? You make up for lost me for a second. Let
yeah,
me get
you're
my
still gone.
there you go. Yeah, you still can hear me though,
I
right?
can hear you. Yeah.
All right. Come on, here we go. Imagine you're an organization
Uh-huh.
that makes billions of dollars,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
But you don't have to pay the people that make you billions of
Well, that's
dollars.
true.
You can then splurge on things like, hey, we may not pay you, but you get jacuzzis at your locker room. You know what I'm saying?
Well, now here's a little bit different. Here's a little bit difference between a university and, like, say, Kansas City Chiefs, right? The university is relying upon those billions of dollars to keep everything else afloat, right? Like a whole university, right?
For the most part, yes.
The Kansas City Chiefs, the only thing they have to do is be the Kansas City Chiefs. They don't need to have a research department. They don't need to have like the oncology research or like they don't have a hospital attached to them.
But they,
Right.
but that oncology schools technically should be paid by the people who go to
Oh, I
that
agree
school.
100%, right? Like I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I'm saying that
Most of the colleges for those places, most of the budget comes from the
those
NCAA
schools
football team.
rely
Yeah.
upon the football revenue to keep other things afloat, and then they still screw that up, right?
Yeah, I think I saw something like Texas gives back. The Texas Football Fund gives back like $100 million every year back to the school. Like they from the revenue that they generate, they just give it to the school. But from what I'm saying is like you've got a school. These guys are coming from a school
Mm-hmm.
where the best thing that they have to do to entice you is their services.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
When the Cincinnati Bengals say the cafeteria is closed, they're saying we pay you $10 million a year. Call Uber. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what they telling you.
That is what they're telling you.
I pay you
They're
$10
straight up telling you
million.
that. But,
you can go get your own food.
But when, let's say, the Miami Dolphins, who have an A for their food and nutritionists, they provide a spread for you. They're saying you're important to us. We want to make sure you're eating well, and so here's this, and here's this, and you know what? You want to bring your family in? They can eat too. We don't care. That's fine, because what we want you to do is be the best football player for the Miami Dolphins.
It makes sense,
right?
I'm not.
It's just treating people well, right?
Sense.
Like, I mean, you're investing in the thing that makes you successful.
I gotta pay you, and I gotta feed you.
Yeah.
Don't I pay you enough to eat? That's what I'm like. I have to pay and feed you.
And here's the thing too, right? Like I think
if your job paid you $10 million a year, there would be no free Cokes in that refrigerator.
I'd be upset about that though. Because every company has free Cokes in the refrigerator.
They do. They're like, don't I pay you enough to bring your own Cokes? Bring your own refrigerator.
But I'll bitch about it the entire time.
I could like it.
Because I have a friend that works at another Harland works over there. He makes $10 million a year, and they have free Cokes.
And they have free Cokes.
I'm over in this shithole. And they offer me free Cokes. But
you win the championships, though.
Yeah, but
championships don't pay the bills.
I ain't happy while I'm doing it.
And they don't give me that caffeine I need.
All I do is bitch about going to work every day. It's like I can't get a free Coke, but you get a ring. I guess.
I guess, yes. I'm wondering, like, half these people probably come from schools like Michigan, Ohio State, University of Texas, University of Alabama.
Any of those Power 5 schools,
that are constantly sending players to the NFL, and they probably have the best facilities.
Oh yeah,
probably rivaling NFL facilities.
Oh yeah. Well,
and they get fed because they don't make any money.
mm-hmm.
So the school kind of feeds them every meal. So is some of this that?
But you'd almost think that like an NFL team, right? You, they have such strict rules about salary caps and what
Diet.
you can
Yeah.
give people that you think that you would kind of go above and beyond on those fringe benefits
The other
that don't hurt you. Like, yes, we can give you the same money that any other team can give you, but we can also give you all of this. All of this. We have top, the top nutritionists, we have the top strength coaches, we have everything that you need is the best that we can possibly employ. And we do that because we think that you deserve. And guess what? You don't have to worry about your family breastfeeding on a dirty floor. We got family rooms, we got air conditioning, we got they can eat, they can enjoy themselves, the kids can play with one another. We're building a culture and a work environment that is not only conducive to like morale, but like productivity. And we're going to treat everybody that works at this place the same way, whether you're for the Miami Dolphins, Tyreek Hill, Tua Tagovailoa, some rookie, or the social media pro. You all get the same stuff, right? Like to me, that's the environment you want. Like
it is.
That's an ideal work environment.
But the question is, NFLPA puts this out.
Uh-huh.
How many players go to those teams based on that and not based off of who can pay them the most money?
I bet you. Like, I bet you if dollars are the same.
I bet if dollars are the same,
make you go. I prefer this, right? Like,
yes, I want to play in Miami is definitely one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh yeah, like, Miami definitely makes it attractive.
I don't want to play in Buffalo anymore. It's cold.
Yeah, that's true. Now, there's a lot to be said for that.
Locale, I definitely agree with. Mm-hmm. But if I gotta go get Uber Eats, am I gonna turn down a good job for that or good pay for that?
But so if it's your only, like, to me, I don't know. It's easy to say because I'm not in that position. But right, like if you have two offers on the table, let's say Miami Dolphins says $10 million, and the Washington Commanders say $10 million.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got to pick a different team because the Washington Commanders absolutely stink. Let's say the Kansas City Chiefs, which would not do rank right where.
That's tough because but here's why I still think Miami becomes more attractive. Because they treat you, and like you're like, okay, Kansas City, they win, but Miami isn't bad.
They're not bad.
They're not bad. You could be the piece that helps push them over, right? That's a selling
that's what you tell yourself. That's what you tell yourself.
But that's a selling point. That's what a good GM is going to be pushing at you. Like, listen, we got this culture. We're winning. We just need another piece, and it's you. And then we're there because we're trying to beat those guys. Because we're in the AFC, everything we do is to beat them. And we're not even in the same division, but we know we have to beat them. And you're the piece that. What if you're Chris Jones? What if you're Chris Jones right now?
I'm going to Miami.
Let's say the Chiefs go, we give you $20 million a year over the next 3 years, right? I don't know if that's a fair offer. Maybe 20, 24, something around there, right? Mm-hmm. The next 3 years. And let's say the Miami Dolphins, who just let their big DT go. They let their Pro Bowl, they released him. I can't remember what his name is.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say the Miami Dolphins throw the same money at them. It would be interesting to see what Chris Jones would take. Right?
Well, Chris Jones got championships. So now it's not about getting championships. You're right. Now at this point in time,
get more.
He can, but he's like, once you win, your goals change.
I don't know. Do they? Once you win, your goal is winning, quality, right?
My goal used to be winning. Like if winning is your goal, you'll take less money, right? Because if you truly want to win. Once you win, I'm like, it's about pay. I want to get paid. I want to work someplace where I like to work at. It doesn't hurt me. Like when you're young and up and coming and you want to do good, you'll sacrifice a lot. Yeah. But once you reach that pinnacle, You won't sacrifice those things. You're not going to sacrifice pay anymore. You're not going to sacrifice your quality of life. That's when things happen. And he's done enough winning to where, yeah, no, Miami looks really nice about now. I get a house out there. Look, I'm looking at retirement. Now I'm looking at my future. It looks real good.
Well, now let's say this: what if Miami? Let's say Chris Jones, money is relatively the same, and it's the Giants or Kansas City.
Mm.
Where do you go?
It's cold in New York.
Yeah. What if it's the Bears or Kansas City? What if it's the Chargers or Kansas City? Like I don't think the Chargers are going to be good. I really don't. I don't believe the Jim Harbaugh hype. I love Justin Herbert, but I just don't see that team. I think that team's possible window is shut, and they need to just burn it down and rebuild.
They have no choice.
And
they're doing that
Herbert.
now.
You want to keep Herbert, but everything else has to just be burned to the ground, and you got to just.
They're $40 million over the cap.
Mm-hmm.
They have to get under the cap. They're talking about Bosa.
Yeah.
Having to get rid of them. They've already started removing. I just saw today they started cutting players.
Yep. Burn to the ground. So let's say I know this isn't feasible. What if it is? What if that money's the same as the Chargers or Kansas City?
Oh, see, I don't know. Like, yeah, I want to be competitive. I don't want to just get a check and
everybody wants to be competitive, but
it
there's
could just be trash,
teams and half of them are bad, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you mentioned going to the Giants and then going to the Bears. Let's be faced. We're not going to be great teams.
No, they're both been pretty bad, right? So, but I will say this about both teams: whether I think the Giants are there or not, I still think the Giants are going to suffer because of Daniel Jones.
The Daniel Jones contract.
Yes. But let's say both teams are kind of in that spot where maybe one or two players can tip the scales, right? I always remember when Reggie White went to the Packers. I'm like, why the hell would you want to go to the Packers? They suck. And then Reggie White was like one
of
the hugest reasons they didn't suck anymore, right? What if that's the case? What if Chris Jones can be that for a team? Like maybe Chris Jones only has 3 to 5 years left in him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what if they're really good 3 to 5 years? What if you have 5 very good years and the first 3 of them are Pro Bowl years, right?
Yeah,
it could be enough to tip a scale, right? You could be Chris Jones and you could bring a Super Bowl back to New York, or you can bring a Super Bowl to help bring a Super Bowl to Chicago, something like that, right? Or you can go back to Kansas City where you have an outstanding coach, but everything else sucks. And you win Super Bowls because you have Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I'd probably pick someplace that's not the place I'm at. Now he's already out though. He's got one foot out the door. Probably.
It feels like he felt like he had one foot out the door last year.
Yeah.
And then they brought him back, and then they won, right? But remember when he wasn't there for those first 2 games?
Didn't look good.
Didn't look
good. We all wrote him off.
It was suspect.
We all wrote him off.
Easy.
We won't do that again. I will do it again. I will probably be the only person losing money because I'm constantly going to keep betting against Mahomes.
Don't do it. Don't do it. If you think you're going to do it, text me and I'll be like, don't. Right,
I thought about it.
We got to talk about this real fast.
Oh, okay.
Today was the day where franchise tags were franchised, and they have till July 15th to either assign the tag or not, or restructure a deal. There's one transition player for the New England Patriots, Kyle Duggar, safety. Fine. Then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 franchise tag players. Baltimore Ravens, Justin Madubuike, defensive tackle. Carolina Panthers, Brian Burns. I feel like they're going to try to trade him.
Mm-hmm. Good player.
Chicago Bears, Jalen Johnson.
Okay.
Cincinnati Bengals, T. Higgins.
Mm-hmm. Which they want to sign him to a long-term deal, probably.
I still think that's a trade thing.
Now that's a trade thing?
Yeah. Now we talked about this last week. Indianapolis Colts, Michael Pittman.
Yes.
We're like he'd be a guy that
you thought he was a free agent. Who thought he is? I would have taken him.
Jacksonville Jaguars, they franchise tagged their Josh Allen, who was very good this last year.
Very good. Very good defensive end.
Last year. Kansas City, they franchise tagged their L'Jarius Sneed, but they said, hey, L'Jarius Sneed, you can stick a trade if you want to. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, signed Mike Evans to a 2-year whatever deal, 2-year 52
Yep.
million, and
Yep.
tagged
But
Antoine Winfield, safety, who is probably the one of the two best safeties. Him and Kyle Hamilton are probably the two best safeties in football. Antoine Winfield, and he's young too.
mhm.
I think he just got off his rookie deal of only 4 years because he wasn't a first rounder. So, what do we think about those names? Names noticeably not on the lists are the
Saquon
running backs
Barkley.
Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs. And yeah, that's it. I don't know.
The Giants also didn't do Xavier McKinney, who was their safety that they drafted.
Yeah.
Which I thought if they were going to use, they were going to use their franchise tag. It was going to be on one of those two, either Saquon or McKinney.
Mm-hmm.
They chose neither.
Yeah.
Which leads me also to wonder, what are we doing? But I can see it. He's the only, like, if even McKinney, I think played like almost every snap for the Giants last year.
Yeah.
Like one of two players that played like every snap. So don't know what they're doing with that. But the franchise tag for some of these positions are out of control.
Yes.
Right. So you kind of have to weigh the position, right? When you think about if you're going to franchise tag somebody. Franchise tagging a wide receiver is a tough move. So Pittman, I didn't think was getting franchise.
Like, so
it's a pretty pricey franchise tag.
You figure this franchise tag because it's 20-something million for wide receiver. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. This is saying that T. Higgins and Michael Pittman right now would be paid the same amount of money next year if the franchise tag is just it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which would be the equivalent to the top 3 salaries at the position. T. Higgins and Michael Pittman neither are a top 3 positional player. Neither are in a position to reset the wide receiver. T. Higgins.
They all are.
But T. Higgins isn't going to reset the wide receiver salary, and Michael Pittman definitely is not. Now, if it was Justin Jefferson, yeah, that dude deserves to reset the.
They'll come up on it, but as a free agent wide receiver, they got to pay for you.
I understand that, but
and they're going to pay.
Yeah,
T. Higgins would have gotten paid.
Remember, Christian Kirk got paid all that money.
Yeah, T. Higgins would have got paid. Pittman would have gotten paid.
Yeah,
almost market reset. Whether they're good, because then the next crop, Justin Jefferson is going to then reset that market. It's just going to keep happening.
Yeah, well, Justin Jefferson definitely will, and there's rumblings that he won't be on the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm hearing that. I don't see that. Just doesn't make any sense to me.
No,
not when
it makes zero sense. Why would you even?
Not when if there's truly, like, this offseason, the most wide running quarterbacks are available possibly than I've seen in a while. You're talking about, if you really want Russell Wilson, you could probably go get Russell Wilson. Mm-hmm. Extend the Justin Jefferson thing a little bit longer, and Russell Wilson might have 2-3 good years on him. If you want to trade for your boy Fields, it's probably a trade to be made if you if you wanted it, right? Like, so just because you don't have a technically a QB1, you can go out there and get one.
Well,
and I know they're losing Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins will be probably being off for someone else.
Maybe he's the OG Christian Kirk. Did I ever tell you about that when I saw the headlines for Christian Kirk signs big deal? I thought it was like
Kirk Cousins.
I thought it was Kirk Cousins because he's real churchy, and I thought it was just like being silly, being like tongue in cheek.
It was Christian Kirk.
Yeah. It didn't dawn on me that the dude.
There's a guy named Christian.
The guy named Christian Kirk was the one that got the big money, because why would Christian Kirk get the big money?
Yeah, no one knows. But like, I don't know. If they were to try to keep Cousins, that's going to cost them.
Oh yeah,
that's going to cost them.
Oh yeah,
because then you're going to sign them for what, a year, 2 years deal, and it ain't going to be cheap. That's not a move you need to make.
Coming off an Achilles tear.
Not a move you need to make. And let someone else make that move.
And it'll get made because he's probably the best quarterback available in free agency, right? Well, he definitely is. He's definitely the best quarterback available in free agency. But he is coming off of an Achilles tear, and he's not 100%. I would imagine that he will be.
You you like him over Russell Wilson?
Yes.
I've never been a Kirk Cousins guy.
Yeah, and I've always been a weird Kirk Cousins defender. I also like Russell a lot too.
And Russ is coming at you at a veteran minimum.
Yes. Now, and that's definitely a thing.
It's very attractive. It's very attractive.
Like, so if I'm Russ and I have multiple teams that are interested in me, which I think I should,
He will.
you have the opportunity to choose which is the most like you have the opportunity to say this is the one I want because he can come in at that vet minimum and he wants to and he's going to stick to the Broncos as much as he can and he's going to tell he's going to tell teams, listen, I'm not going to take over the you cannot offer me $1 over $1.5 million. I won't take it. You offer me 1.505, I will pass. Every dollar has to come out from the Broncos.
Have to come from the Broncos. Definitely, that's exactly what I would do.
So if you're a team's, I think there's teams that need there's definitely teams that need quarterbacks, right? And there's only 3 free agent quarterbacks to fill spots, and there's like 10 or 11 spots that need to get filled. And they're not going to come from the draft. Teams will draft quarterbacks that need quarterbacks. But like Michael Penix, Bo Nix, Spencer Rattler, like these are names that are going to get drafted.
Yeah.
And some of them will be like, oh, he might be good. Every year, there's so many quarterbacks that get drafted. They go, oh, he might be good, and they never are. And they'll have a flash, and they never pan out. So like, no offense to Bo Nix or Michael Penix, I think Michael Penix is a fantastic athlete. I don't know if he'll ever be a pro quarterback. Same thing with like Bo Nix. Same thing with Jaden Daniels. I think he's a fantastic athlete. Will he be? I don't know. Drake May, don't know any of them. But there's only so many starting quarterbacks that are available, and there's so many teams that need starting quarterbacks every year.
That's why I know there's so many available starting quarterbacks because all these teams don't have any.
Yeah,
there's not a starting quarterback on at least 7 teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe more. I could be shortchanging. There's no starting quarterback on Atlanta.
Mm-mm.
There's no starting quarterback on Pittsburgh.
Mm-mm.
You could say the Giants didn't have a starting quarterback. You could say that the Jets will have one, but they didn't have one last year.
Maybe.
Maybe. The Patriots don't have a starting quarterback.
Nope. Commanders.
The Commanders don't have a starting quarterback.
Sam Howell was pretty good last year at number accumulation. I don't know if he's a good quarterback, but he's there. The Raiders don't have a starting quarterback.
The Titans don't have a starting quarterback.
But they'll say
the Colts kind of have one.
Yeah, Colts maybe. I mean, they have Gardner Minshew, who got
they have Gardner Minshew, but are they going to go with Anthony Richardson? Exactly. So there are teams out there that they'll find a starting quarterback somewhere because it's this. Nobody has one. It feels like half the team is missing a quarterback.
Yeah, and so many teams had to have multiple quarterbacks last year. Like,
not it's just now becoming
but
a thing.
Not just 2, but like 3 or
4. It was Deshaun Watson. Who was the other one that they had after that? Deshaun.
Oh, well, they had Deshaun Watson. Then they had their Dorian Thompson-Robinson, their rookie.
Yep.
He got hurt. And then they had what's his name, who was on the Panthers. Then he was on the Bears, and the Bears cut him before the season even started. Former Arena League guy. I can't remember what his name is. He was on the Panthers, and PJ Walker.
Okay. Yep. PJ Walker.
PJ Walker.
Then Flacco.
Then Flacco. Yeah, Flacco was their 4th quarterback, right? And they got him off. And then he had teams like the Jets, who had Rodgers, and they had Zach Wilson. Then they had Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadoo. I don't know who they had. Like, they had guys.
Giants had Daniel Jones. Mm-hmm. They had Tyrod Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
They had
Tommy
Cutlets. Yep, Tommy DeVito. The Vikings had Cousins. Mm-hmm. Then at one point in time, they had the Pastronaut, Dobbs.
Then they had Jaron Hall. Then they had the other guy. They had 4 quarterbacks. Then you had the Chargers had Herbert, and then they had Easton Stick, who's a name I will never forget because it's a first Hall of Fame name. Yeah, there's so many teams.
Bears had 2, you said, right? Or 2 or 3.
Bears had
2
because they had Bagent. And then they had
Oakland had
Oh,
Garoppolo,
Garoppolo, then
Aiden
Aiden O'Connell. Then they had somebody
O'Connell.
else in there. Hoyer. Is that who they had in there? Yeah. Then like even Seattle had needed two because they had run Drew Lock out there because Geno Smith got
What's
hurt.
Arizona had three if you consider Kyler, Dobbs, and then the other guy that they had.
Clayton Tune, the rookie.
Yeah, you have to have a solid backup
Yeah. You,
in the league.
if almost every team ran their backup out there to start a game or two last year. Almost every team, minus the Bills, minus Kansas City.
I think Lamar played every game this
Lamar
year.
played every game. Jordan Love played every game. Uh, what's his face? I almost said Matt Stafford, but the other one in Detroit. He played every game. Like, but most
Goff.
teams had to run
Yeah.
a
At
backup out
least
there
it's
a couple
for a
times.
game or two.
Yeah, sometimes
Yes.
sometimes multiples, 3, 4 games.
And that's what let us know that the NFL is deprived of quarterback talent. Because you would think they would hit on somebody. Like one of those guys, one of those guys, we would have got a chance to prove that they were actually very good.
That's the thing, and it's the same every year, right?
Oh my God, we forgot Atlanta. They didn't have a
They had
quarterback.
Desmond Ritter, and then they had
Desmond Ritter,
who was their backup? Because remember they what was his face? Who was in Washington the year before? Buys
Mariota is
no
oh
buys
no.
the shoes every time he beats a team. He has the shoes.
Oh,
What is his name?
what is his name?
Heineke.
Yes, yep, Heineke.
And so they had him, and then he got hurt like instantly. They had
Ritter
somebody
they
else too.
brought
I can't
in,
remember.
then they brought Ritter out, and then they brought Ritter back. It
Yeah.
was just
I mean, Tennessee's the same way because they had Tannehill, then they had Levis, and then they had Malik Willis out there for a couple games. And then Levis came back,
yep.
and Levis is okay at times, just like Aiden O'Connell was okay at times, just like even Easton Stick was okay at times. But like these aren't long term
Starters,
solutions.
not
They just
starters.
aren't.
None of them. Do you think that we'd find like how did how do teams like the Cowboys have done it before? Like you go, oh, let's just go to this guy that we drafted in the seventh round. Oh wow, he's an NFL
Yeah.
quarterback. Like how does the San Francisco 49ers hit on Brock Purdy? Like how does it happen that some of those teams get to do it and the rest of the league can go through 20 different quarterbacks and not one of them look good?
I am a fan of a franchise that
It's never had
if I pulled up the embarrassing list of starters since they won the Super Bowl, it would be embarrassing because it's like we're approaching 40 years, and it's probably 150 starting quarterbacks.
Oof.
And you
You
probably
think you could accidentally hit on
you
one?
would think, and that's with Jay Cutler in there, who was their starter for like 6, 7 seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I mean, there's so many, and you'd be like, he was. I forgot. Cordell Stewart was on the Bears. Oh, I forgot they ran Rick Meyer out there for a couple games.
Mm.
The Bears traded their first round pick for Rick Meyer. Do you remember Rick Meyer? He was the
I
quarterback for
remember.
Notre Dame. He was drafted number two to Seattle, and was terrible in Seattle. And the Bears said, you
I
know what?
got
We'll
that.
give you our first round pick and another draft. We'll give you multiple draft picks, including the first, which I think was like the 6th or the 8th overall, for Rick fucking Meyer. He only played 4 games for the Bears. I want to say maybe 6, and he was
Ooh.
terrible. So Rick Meyer, like, there's the Bears, the Browns are the same way. Like, just teams that just have just. There was a guy, and I appreciate his commitment. He had the nameplate of every Browns starting quarterback since Tim Couch on the back of his jersey. You saw that? It was like 4 deep
Yes.
across his whole back.
So it's a lot.
It'd be the same way for the Bears, and that's insane. That's why everybody wanted Justin Fields to be it. That's why everybody wants Caleb Williams to be it. That's why it probably won't be, and we'll just be back here again. I do want. We've almost done every sport today. I do want to talk baseball for 1 second, and it's
All
not
right.
about baseball that you think. It's Major League Baseball. MLB The Show is coming back again this year,
Hmm.
and For the first
You've
time
got
ever,
women vice versa. Yes.
for the first time ever, you can create a woman baseball player in the create a player
Yep,
mode,
I saw that.
and people are unreasonably angry about it. And here's my favorite thing. I'm going to show it to you. Uh, the headline is "You can't put a woman in the game. It's unrealistic." Meanwhile, this is the average MLB The Show create a player. I'm going to start from the beginning here so you can truly appreciate this. Oh shoot.
Oh, I know that guy. I crack dingers or whatever.
Superman flew into the home plate. You can't have a woman. It's not realistic. Here's this guy. He's 5'2", 340 pounds, bat flipping, Superman flying, Heisman Trophy posing. Come on.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I saw that today. I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They said they have a whole storyline.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, oh, that's pretty cool.
We play home run derby here in the house with the kids. they love the show, and it's a way for me to teach my kids about guys like Kirby Puckett and Ken Griffey Jr. Hadley's favorite baseball player ever is Ken Griffey Jr., and she's never seen the man play once. He retired before she was born.
Dingers. He hits dingers.
Backwards hat, hits home runs, and he's super cool. Man.
Stance. Oh, yeah, of course.
She loves
There's
Ken
none
Griffey
cooler.
Jr.
There's none cooler.
Yeah.
None.
Works for me. All right. I think that's it, man. We went long again.
You know what I like about Ken Griffey Jr. too?
What?
His hate for the New York Yankees.
Yes. I loved it because they treated his dad wrong. And he said, I'll never play for that team. And he didn't.
Never
the Yankees,
play for
the
them.
Yankees could have literally pulled up a dump truck full of money. They had the capability to do that. They had the money and probably the construction ties to pull with a dump truck full of money. Pull the lever. Let all the bills pile up in the front yard. And Ken Griffey Jr. would have said, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
He went to the Reds because his dad played there too. And him and his dad still is one of the coolest moments, went back to back in a baseball game. I think that's what LeBron wants for his son. And
yeah,
will Bronny be an NBA player?
Yes.
He will.
Yes.
He'll get drafted, but is he NBA quality though?
Oh my God, I meant to talk about this. We'll talk about it briefly. LeBron saying, let my son just be a kid. You don't get to say that, Mr. LeBron. You sucked up every bit of publicity that you wanted when you were 17 years old. Your son is a college player. He's 18 years old.
Yeah.
Let a kid be a kid. I get it. You don't get to say that, LeBron.
Yeah.
Not the way you.
I can appreciate because he's trying to just looking out for his kid, right? And I think it's probably like he knows it's unfair comparison. No matter what his kid does.
But the LeBron hype is not the same as the LeBron hype. They're nowhere near it. No one is saying this. They're just saying they're reiterating. Can he be an NBA player like you want him to be? Right? That's really what the talk is. Is he worth being an NBA player? Is he that good? Or is he just going to be an NBA player just because you're an NBA player? We're not saying anything that you didn't want for your child. Yeah. Like, I don't think anyone's saying anything like that. Like, and he's a college athlete. They're all going to get scrutinized, right? Like, whether he's your son or not, he's a college athlete. They're going to scrutinize him. They've got people whose job is to scrutinize him.
It is true.
Right? So you can't go with the let a kid be a kid argument. You can't. And I'm not going to let LeBron get away with that. Come on, LeBron. You were younger than your son was at the time with much more hype on top of your head. And you ate. But his son will not go through that. You best believe his son ain't good enough to go through that. Oh.
But it's already there. I mean, you know what's wild is we had the same thing in football with Arch Manning at Texas.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's not even his father. His father is not Peyton. His father is not Eli. His father is Arch, is Cooper.
Oh, Arch isn't Peyton? I thought that was Peyton's kid.
Nope. Oh. Nope. That is their nephew. He is Cooper Manning's son.
Oh, he's not going to be good. There's nothing you can do about that. Remember when Jordan's kids like, oh, Jordan's kids,
Marcus,
yeah,
Marcus, Short,
yeah,
yep. When he
they're
went to
gonna be good.
UCF,
Now all he does is bang Scottie Pippen's ex-wife
they broke
45
up.
times a day or whatever.
We didn't even have to know that. They didn't have to tell
Nope,
us that.
they
part.
told us unsolicited information,
Oh,
and not truthful.
not,
I don't give a,
not,
I don't care who you are. Just not happening.
listen. He came from the greatest loins of all time,
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna tell you
maybe
what. There's people in the industry, and you know what industry I'm talking about, that don't do it like
the
that.
industry.
They don't do it like that. They can't.
See,
It starts to hurt after a while, right? They know.
but listen. Imagine if you'd have told his father that he can't do that. What did we discuss?
Maybe. So maybe this is like the long con, trying to convince his dad to do better, to end him early, right? Like, I gotta get rid of my dad. That's maybe Scotty's working with him.
Oh, but Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, and
Luke
Luke
Longley are on a
Longley
tour. Yeah,
have a podcast together.
no,
Oh,
it's
no,
a
they're
it's
on
a tour. It's
It's
a
a
tour.
tour.
It's called the Real Bull Tour.
Why? Why, Scotty?
They're
Why?
doing, and everybody thought it was going to be like there's their side of the story for the whatchamacallit.
No one wants to hear their side of the story.
It's not even that. So like I read a write up of it, and it's just like three guys doing a remember the time, like doing the Chris Farley talk show version. Remember that time you
when-
jumped over? Oh, it was awesome. I loved it. It was awesome. Hey Luke, remember that time you did that? Yeah, it was awesome. Right?
They don't understand that podcasts exist.
Yeah,
That they
no.
could just have a podcast.
Because they're
and
old
just,
guys. They don't get it. They're older than us.
They are
New
but no one
media.
wants
They
to
don't
hear.
get new media.
Nobody wants to hear what they have to
They're
say.
selling out things. I don't know.
Selling
what,
out?
I don't know what they're selling out. So
The Hilton Conference Room in
that's,
Topeka,
here's
Kansas.
the thing. So I have a friend, a mutual friend of ours, or mutual relationship,
Okay.
and he constantly sends me links to concerts. It's like, you need to go check this out there in your area, and it's like the Souls of Mischief 93 to Infinity tour, and it's at like a wine bar. I'm like, oh, Onyx is going to be in town. I'm like, Onyx? All of Onyx? Like, no, not Sticky Fingers, but Fredro. And I'm like, okay, where's it at? The so-and-so arcade. I'm like, okay. Like, I don't want to do that. These are like,
These are my heroes.
these
I
are my
I love
heroes
these
from
guys.
when I was a late teen, early 20. I don't want to go see him at a wine bar or
At a bowling
go
alley
stay in
where
a
someone
bowling
just
alley,
showed up to-
right? It's stuff like that. It's like, oh, look, the hieroglyphics crew's coming around. I'm like, yeah, please don't ruin Del the Funky Homo Sapien for me. I just don't want to do it. I can't do it. So that's what I'm assuming the No Bull Tour is. It's like, it's like the AMC 30. They're at a damn movie theater. They're in the lobby signing autographs and stuff. That's it, right?
Oh, like, you know how you can rent movie theaters for conference events?
Mhm.
That's what they do. They're talking in the front.
Could be.
And after the movie plays, after they're like, yeah, we're gonna leave.
Yeah.
You guys more than welcome to finish watching Dune 2.
Yeah, come watch Dune 2. But come early to hear Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, and Luke Longley talk about. I don't wanna. I gotta see
You-
Shai Hulud.
I'm gonna say yes. You'd go see it if they were in there like, okay, I don't care what they have to say, but
I always get there early, so I'll get there early enough just to catch the tail end of Horace Grant talking about something, and then bring on the movie. Like I even want to see what is an insane amount of trailers now. You went and saw the movie. Why are there 25 minutes of trailers?
I didn't get that many trailers.
Oh my God, there were 25.
I didn't get that many trailers.
I had to keep pulling up my
I-
phone. And every time I go see a movie, which has not been that often, it gets
Mhm.
longer. It used to be 10 minutes, then it was 15. And it's like, man, 15 minutes of trailers? And then it was 20. I'm just like, man, there's 20 minutes of trailers.
I can't even think of the movies that were running on mine. I think
I
I
don't remember a
saw
single one.
the Godzilla King Kong
God,
buddy
yeah.
cop movie, and I was like, this is horrible. It's
Yeah, that was
horrible.
one. I was trying to forget it. That was one. There's a
They do the running side by side thing. Why?
why does King
Why?
Kong have a Nintendo Power Glove, and why is Godzilla pink? He's like in a
I don't
pink.
know.
Like I don't mind. I don't mind the fact that he's pink. It's like
But
there's no
he
need.
never it was never
It
was.
never was
Like so
before.
what now you gotta explain it. And that's what they want. They want you to go, why is he wearing a power glove armor? Why is he pink? You
Yeah,
gotta come to the movie to
but
see that.
but there's no reason for these things to exist except for to like create a Funko Pop with a different color. Like, oh, I gotta get the Chase Godzilla now. He's pink. Uh, like so, there's that, right? So there's that. There was a Tom Hardy motorcycle movie which looked pretty good. Uh,
I've heard that, but I didn't see that trailer.
um, there was oh some Jerry Bruckheimer We're Crazy World War II Nazi killer crew. Uh,
Nope. Didn't see that either.
some
what
like
what did I get?
like we're like the unhinged magnificent seven, but we're in World War II, and there's a girl with us, and we're gonna go kill Nazis. So there was
Didn't get
that
that.
one. Oh boy, there's something else too. Things that I just like. I don't care. I just please get. I'm already here for a 2 hour and 15 minute movie. Don't make me sit for another extra 25. That's what I'm saying. All right, I'm done saying it. We need to be done, Harland.
All right, man.
It's been a long one, man. It's been real
It was
long.
a great one. It
Yeah.
was funny. I like this one.
A lot of Jordan talk at the top.
It was some joy to talk in there.
All right. Well,
All right, man.
we were who we were. TDs
Yeah,
and
titties and tangies.
Tangies and Jordan, MJ, and Muad'Dib, and we're done.